speed, we don't know. These vehicles could eventually get up to over 50 miles an hour. But they need to go to every 30 miles. And they're no use for long distance, mainly short city and town deliveries. And to the air conditioning, there's no windows. But around the driver's seat is a boiler, it's a fire, it's warm, perfect for chill blades. And first of our general purpose engine is a 1906 old ship built in Northampton, went to Australia, came back in bits, and that's Lady Anne, Mark Harrison's first, and that one, and there are only 6 of these engines still moving in the world. One behind is another old ship, 1907. That Lady Olivia, I'll find out when it comes here. It is Lady Olivia. Another one which went to Australia and came back in bits. These general purpose engines were used to drive circular saws, pumps and threshing machines, of course. They were too heavy at 89 tons to go on the ground just there with compacting topsoil. The first one that actually moved was built in 1859. Richard Aveling of Aveling and Porter got a Clayton Shuttleworth engine in some sort of contraption he'd got. Couldn't steer it, but at least it would move under its own power. The Duke of Ongar, splendid machine, general purpose, a bull built in Thetford in Norfolk. So the design of these general purpose engines didn't change from 1880 to 1942 when the last one was built. A Marshall roller from 1925. Followed by a Foster built in Lincoln. This is Wendy, 1899. This machine with a specially adapted sun protection, a kit from Barnard Castle with a fancy hat. Very nice, I like the hat. And the umbrella. There's good core form. Another Marshall built in Gainsborough. The Lincolnshire Marshall's factory with a wonderful 6 or 5 floor brick building. It really was tremendous. It now sells knickers in the supermarket. The versatile plowing engine. These engines used to work in pairs, and they would flow for a plough between them. And a pair of these engines could plough 30 acres in a day. A horse could plough 1 acre. Made a difference. They needed flat land, no hedges, not many ditches. The eastern side of the country, right. And if you're on the train and look out the left-hand side as you're going down, you'll see these huge fields, many of which were built for these ploughing engines. Were particularly important in the First World War when we needed food. They could work on out a lot quicker than horses. A bit of a slowdown in the 30s until the Second World War brought them back into universal use, because we haven't got a lot of petrol and diesel to buy. Goodness me, we had a lot of coal. Still have a car. So John Fowler was a naughty man, made his face in Leeds, worked for years to perfect the material using that drum underneath the engine. And eventually perfected it with that twisted wire rope. And Fowler's had a tremendous name in the steam industry, and in fact 50 of his steam diggers built the Suez Canal in 1857. Francis Sewell, Simpson Jeffries, based in Ipswich, old machine, pre-1900 that one. Gimlo with old Melbourne. That was built in Hampshire, I believe. Now the first of our Showman's engine. The Showman's engine with that twisted brass support. Usually lake crimson the colour. They have a smokestack extension on the top which improves the flow to the fire and helps keep the smut and the smoke out of the eyes of the paying customers. Silly little door. 20th century Noah's Ark. What's that? The animals went in 2 by 2. 2 giraffes, 2 lions, 2 tigers on a roundabout. That little door. 1928. Fowler built in Leeds. And you can see on the side of that engine, crest. That's the crest of the city of Leeds. But they brought so much work and prosperity to the city. The city found that you put our bags on the side of one of your engines. I'm sure they would have served the money on the Lincoln side. General purpose engine, Clayton Tugwood built in Lincoln, 1906 this one. And this is north of Flint, Louise. Bixman, which is a McLaren built in Leeds. The other manufacturer in Leeds, called Fowler. And this machine was exported to New Zealand, I think. And they didn't look after it very well. And this was found in the bed of a river. Mr. James Bull and friends got together in over 6 years, rebuilt this heavy-duty engine. It's called Big Smack. The other half of the pair of Fowler plowing engine. Built in 1919, this is Libra, dedicated to Barnard Castle. Splendid machine. Not operational at the moment due to some problems with shifts and gears. He did explain, he hasn't a clue what he was on about. Lovely sun visor there. rascal. They go for a sharp right-hand turn. And a baby one, 6-inch scale. First steam engine was built, steam engine was built in the 1700s, but they were static machines. And one of those machines was owned by Richard Riddick, a Cornish tin miner, and he decided to put an engine in a stagecoach. It worked. Well, for the most part, till it fell over and caught fire. But apart from that, there was nothing wrong with it. Astonisher, the general purpose, well, almost a Showman tractor. So the effort went to steam on rails, and the first engine which actually moved onto its own power was in 1859. Richard Aveling put a Clayton Shuttleworth steam engine in some sort of equipment. Nobody knows what it was, but it didn't steer. That is, it didn't steer full stop. I suppose it didn't steer very well.
Oh, is it?
But from that time, 1859 to 1867, Aveling and Porter had perfected their road rollers. 1867, the first road roller built, new, supplied to Liverpool City Council. 2 years later, the Americans stopped there. And after there will be roadways in Central Park. Aveling and Porter built 8,000 steamrollers, 6,000 of which went for export. And the last steamroller actually built was an Armstrong Pickard in Newcastle in 1950, supplied due to Argentina, and the rumour was they never paid for it. So you'll see on the front of Aveling and Porter rollers a brass horse. That's based on Invicta. Invicta was the name of a horse owned by a Saxon warlord. It was a white horse. And the white horse appears on the flag of the County of Kent and their coat of arms. Aveling and Porter based in Rochester in Kent. And put it on the front of their engines where there was room to do so. Took time to it. Providence of the big Showman's engine. And a rare machine coming through. This is an Armstrong Whitford roller. This is Albert, built in 1923. Worked for Bishop Alford Urban District Council. Moved to Cumbria, then to Northumberland in preservation. Returned to County Durham in 2018. Much work carried out to get it into this moving condition. Sentinel steam wagon built in Shrewsbury in the 30s. production originally in Glasgow that moved south, and they set up virtually the first production line for equipment in this country, following on what Henry Ford had perfected with his Model T and his forms and tracks. First World War, the government requisitioned a lot of steam engines to pull the guns around, not to the trenches because it's too muddy for them. And after the war, they found themselves with 2,000 steam engines. A, they didn't want, and B, they didn't need. They parked them up on Kempton Park racecourse and flogged them off for assault. A relative assault. So you can get it, a general purpose engine could be converted to a roller. As long as you've got the boiler and the gearing, you can make whatever engine you really wanted out of it. There were 1,000 Showman engines built. First one was built in 1893. That was built in Norfolk by Coral, and the last one was built in 1934. That was a Plowing, supplied new to a lady in Wales. And we hope she enjoys. Wheeling Rega, Little Fowler, Showman's Tractor. Look at the brass work on that. Who cleans the brass? The lady. Not a chance. Not a chance, he said. Central wagon in the couple of pricey bread. A local baker, so I'm told. And now Mr. Kell, who has got a massive, big engine, who has acquired a little more, and seems to prefer it. The tractor is made by everything important, held by the horse on the front. now coming through supremacy. The Webster family have written on this machine, and you see its birthday. It's 100 years old this year. Supplied new to Blands of Gosford in 1925. Working for them until 1963 as a steamroller. Changed to a traction engine when he retired. Bought by the present owner in 1986. That's supremacy. It's going to be tight, Dean. It's going to be tight. It's your turning circle I'm worried about. Can you turn? The girl driving this drives an Arctic. So you could pass that. You could reverse it in. Where's Megan? In the van. Two off. Captain Scott. Not the real one. An engine. A McLaren. Second McLaren we've got in the field today. Being heavy duty loco, just working out his method of attack against fast torque. See the Showman's engine, the canopy goes all the way to the front to protect the dynamo, and with its smoke stack extension, I like that. Very good idea. Light crimson and deep yellow, the colours of most Showman's engines. That's Murphy, 1927 power, Georgian valve Hutchinson. Oh, excellent. And this is Aisha. '26 machine.